Guys, welcome back to a new video. I am just astonished at how long I have not done a video here in like so long. I have not done a booktube video. It's like insane how long it's been. Honestly, it's been like 2 years, I think. I mean, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have changed. I've changed. Like a lot of things have just happened in the past 2 years. I've just been really, really busy. I just been life has been like crazy for me. I think especially the last year. And so I'm back with a new video. I haven't done one in a really long time and I don't know how to start this video, but I'll just start it. So I did a book haul. I did a Goodwill haul and also a library haul. So I'll start with the Goodwill haul because I feel like that's mostly I did library haul, which is behind me, but Goodwill haul I just do it because it's like I guess a shorter set of books, I guess. But I just start with the first one. It's Room by Emma Donoghue. I think that's how you say it. Emma Donoghue. That's Room. I think I heard of this around Booktube, and even in Goodreads. I've heard about this a lot before, and I was like, you know what? It seems interesting. It seems interesting. I feel like it's a boy that has like a mental disability, I think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but I'm really, really interested in this one because I've heard a lot of things about this one. And like a lot of good things about this one, but I'm interested in this one. And it seems in really good condition too, so it's not like used or anything. It doesn't seem used, but interested in that one. So the next one that I got here is The Boy in Striped Pajamas. I've heard a lot also about this too in Goodreads, and this is based off the Holocaust. And this is by John Boyne. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is based on the Holocaust, but it's also a fable. It's a fable. It's not really it's like based off of someone's like experience of the Holocaust. It's just a fable. So it's pretty much a work of fiction. It says here like a fable. I'm not sure if you read that. But I'm interested to read it to see if I like it or not. And there's a lot of annotations in the book, which is something I really don't enjoy. I don't like that people write in a book. I get it. It's a book. It used to be the book. Like, it's a used book, whatever. And it's annotated, but I personally don't like when I buy a book, especially a used book, and it's annotated, I don't like it. It's like, it's everywhere, pretty much. And I don't like that, but I'm interested to see if I like it or not, because it seems really interesting, especially because of the Holocaust. I feel like I'm really fascinated. I'm fascinated from things of history, like things that happened in the past. I'm really interested in what happened, like the events, like past events, and so I'm really interested in this one. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Hopefully I will, but yeah. So the next one that I got from Goodwill is Holes by Ulyssa Carr, I think is how you say it. But I do remember reading this when I was in middle school, and also watching the movie, enjoying the movie also with Shia LaBeouf, and I did enjoy the movie. I forgot if I enjoyed the book. Something that I find triggering for me is that I don't like reading about animal abuse, child abuse, or even sexual abuse, like that kind of stuff that kind of like triggers me. It's not easy for me to read, you know? It's kind of like hard for me to digest when it comes to books. Because I do remember reading, I forgot what it's called. One called That Sing. I forgot the title of the book, but for a moment. But when the Crawdads Sing, I read that book and I did not enjoy it because of the child abuse involved in that. Sorry, it's a spoiler. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's real spoiler if you just say a verbal term. Just child abuse. I don't enjoy it. I just didn't like it. So same thing with this one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. But yeah, I'll just wait and see. So the next one are just 3 books. They are they're different books from the series. This is, I think, I got the 3rd book, 8th book, and 9th book of the series of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I have never read these ever, because I think they came out after I graduated high school, like after, I think. And I never read these. I saw them at my relatives, like, had a lot of these books around, and I'm like, I don't know what they are. And I saw the movie too, and I enjoyed it, but I'm like, okay. And I didn't ever read these, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna read these. So I got three of these books. I think it's one is a paperback. So that's a paperback. These two are hardcovers. And I don't know what I think about them. I kind of did enjoy the movie, but obviously the movie's different from the book, so I'm not sure. So the last one from Goodwill is actually The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I think this is a mystery thriller thing. I don't really read mystery thrillers, but if I do, I'm like, if I'm interested in it, I'm like, it's because I've seen it on Book Talk or like Booktube or like Goodreads. So I did see this in Goodreads, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. The only thing is that this is a mass market paperback, I think that's what I call it. But I don't know if I like it, but I'll just, whatever, it's fine. It's just a used book. I'll get over it. But I did see this on Goodreads and on Booktube, and I was like, okay, seems interesting. So I got it. And I believe all of the books that I got were like 10 books. I believe it could be more or less, but I got all of these. I think it's like 7 books for, not bad, right? I don't think it's bad. Like $10 more or less. I think it was, but not bad for a haul, like Goodwill haul. And I got even more in it back. So yeah, let's move on, because these are the bigger. It's the bigger haul. It's a bigger set of books because it's just a lot. I got a lot of these because I was like really interested in reading these. They're a mix of children's books and also like adult books or teen books, like YA books. So the first one I got is The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I never read of this book. I never heard of it, but I did see it on Goodreads. I did see it, around Goodreads, and I've heard about it. I think also on Booktube, but I have never read it. I'm like really interested in reading it. I've never heard about it before, like before Booktube or Goodreads. I never heard about it before. It's an interesting title to say at least, but I'm interested in reading this one. So the next two are by Beverly Cleary. These are different series, though they're not the same series, but they're by the same author. This one is Ramona and Her Father by Beverly Cleary. I used to read these when I was like in elementary school. I used to love these series, especially with Ramona and Beezus and Ramona and Her Father, and then also with the one including Henry in it, because I thought I related a lot to Henry in the series. But this one I did read a lot when I was in elementary school. I was like, I want to read it again because I want to buy the whole series. This is just the first book I got. I don't know if this is a book from the series, but this is the first book that I got from the series, and I want to read like the rest of the series. Obviously, I have a lot of nostalgia with these books because I think they're really I think funny because a lot of these stories I do remember, like when I was in elementary school reading it, and I was like, it was just pretty funny and amusing and witty. So, and the next one by the same author is The Mouse and the Motorcycle. I think I read this a couple years ago, but I never got the book. So, and it's also another children's book, but I never got the book for this. I think I did read it, or maybe it's like another book from the series, same series, but I never like got the book. So I'm like, here you go, I got it. So it's a book that I got from the library that I'm like, okay, I think I read this book, but I want it either way. I still want it either way. So yeah. The next one I got is called Mr. Popper's Penguins by Richard and Florence Atwater. I heard about this in Goodreads, and I was like, I think I also remember watching a movie with Jim Carrey, and I was like, this is an interesting movie. Like, it's an interesting movie to say the least. Like, I was like, I feel like fascinated by like how this person like kind of raised these penguins, I guess. And I remember watching the movie, but I never read the book, and I didn't even know there was a book. Something fell. Sorry. But I was, yeah. I was like really interested. I'm like, there's a book about this. Like, oh my gosh. And there's like these illustrations too. Like, it's really funny. It's probably gonna be really funny to read. So yeah, I'm really interested in reading this. So yeah. The next one I got, I did also remember reading this when I was, I think, in middle school or elementary school. But another one is, this is, I think, another children's book that I'm like, I do remember reading this one when I was in, actually, no, I was in high school, I remember. I was in high school. And I read this when I was in 9th grade, and it was The Hatchet by Gary Paulson. And I was like, I remember reading this book, and I was like, I'm gonna get it because there's a lot of nostalgia reading this book. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna read this again. So I'm interested in reading this one too. And a lot of these books that are like children's books are just a lot of nostalgia. I do remember reading them too. There's a lot of like the stories that are come from the books. I remember reading them, and I'm like, that's a lot of nostalgia for me to like yeah, it's just a lot of nostalgia, honestly, just with all these like children's books. So yeah, especially with this one. Also, this one's also another one, and also this one, in Harry the Spy. Because a lot of these are children's books, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited to buy these all. And another one like this one is A Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I think I read this book, but I never hauled it. But I also didn't read the rest of the books, like the rest of the series, because there's a whole series behind it. I think it was a Little House in the Big Woods, something like that. I think this is the second one. I'm not sure. But there's like a whole series. I'm like, I think it's like up to 15, 20 books, and I'm not sure. But I hauled this one, and I'm like, I want to read it again. So a lot of these are really nostalgic. And this one, Esperanza Rising, I also remember reading this when I was in school as a kid. And this is also, I think this is based off of a Hispanic girl, like a Mexican girl, and like she goes through like some experiences. I don't remember entirely what's it about, but I think, yeah, this is, yeah, Mexico. So she always lived on my family's ranch in Mexico. She would always have fancy dresses and a beautiful home. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much about, oh, okay, so this is pretty much about being raised in the Great Depression, during the Great Depression in Mexico. So I'm really interested to see like what happens in this book, because like, yeah, I'm really interested. And yeah, I said interested a lot in these books, in this video. But another one is Harriet the Spy books. This is Harriet the Spy, the original one. And I don't know, I don't remember reading this one, but I am interested in reading it. And this one too, which is, and this one too, which is Harriet Spies Again by Helen Erickson. And this one's Harriet the Spy by Louis Fitzhugh. I don't know how you say it, but these two, I'm like really interested in these. I have it reversed. Really interested in these. I'm like, wow, I really want to read these because I remember that I might have read this as a kid, but I don't remember, so I want to read them. I'm interested in reading them. So this one is actually a book without a dust jacket, and this actually is a mystery thriller novel, I think. This is an Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena. This, I've never heard of this book, but I was like, you know what, I'm interested in it. I want to read more mystery thrillers. I don't know, just more mystery thrillers. I almost never read mystery thrillers. I want to get on my comfort zone, especially now that it's fall, and like, you know, I'm interested in this one. So yeah, I got this one for possibly a November read. I don't know, I'm not sure. So next one is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I do not have the first book, but I'm interested in buying the first one, of course, and the third one, I think. And I never read this trilogy ever, like, even when, because I think it came out when I was in college. Never read this series, never read the trilogy, sorry. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna read it, why not? So Catching Fire, and hopefully, of course, I'll read the first one, which is, I forgot what it's called, I think Hunger Games, I'm not sure, because I think it's Hunger Games, Candy Fire, and then Mockingbird, Mockingjay. I forgot what it's called, because I never read these books in my life. So I'm like interested in reading it because like, yeah, why not? So it's more like a dystopian, which I used to read a lot of dystopian back then, like post-apocalyptic dystopian science fiction books. Now not so much, but I'm like, why not? Just try it out. The next one is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. This one I did watch the movie, and again, this is like mystery thriller about a 17-year-old girl who gets like something happens to her, and I did watch the movie and it was really interesting. I got confused as to like what was happening in the movie, but for the most part I didn't understand. And I think it was a girl in the 70s, and she was 17 in the 70s, and something happened to her, like, you know, mystery thriller, dun dun dun, like that's. Yeah, so this one's really interesting to read. I feel like this is really interesting to read. I did watch the movie, but I did not read the book, which I should have done when I was in high school, because this came out when I was in high school, and never read it, but I'm interested in reading it soon. So yeah. Okay, so this one is Leroy. This is another children's book. A lot of children's books here, but this is Leroy Knicker Saddles Up, I think is how you say it, by Kate DiCamillo. I think that's how you say it. Never heard about this book. I was like interested in reading it. I was like, you know what, just buy it. Why not? And I think I did read. I think now that I'm like, now that I like actually said her name, the author's name, I think I did read. I think it was called Winn-Dixie or something like that. I think it was the book. Something about Winn-Dixie, also about a dog, but I think that's the same author as this one, and I think that's why I bought it, maybe. But I never heard about this book, and I was like, you know what, I'll just buy it. So yeah, another children's book that I'm like interested in reading. And speaking of more children's fiction, these are a part of a series called A Series of Unfortunate Events, and I remember, I think, reading the books and watching the movie. I think the movie was with Jim Carrey also. I'm not sure. It could have been someone. No. I think it was a movie. No, because Jim Carrey was in the show, and then the movie was something else. So I'm like, I don't remember. But this is a part of this series of unfortunate events, and I remember reading this when I was a kid. When I was like in middle school, and I loved them. And I saw these in the library. I was like, I have to get these. Like, I have to read them. I have to get these, because there's just a lot of subject coming with this series. Yeah, nostalgia just all around. So yeah. So next one is another one that I've never heard of before, but I saw it in the library, and I'm like, you know what, I'm interested in this one. Why not get it? So it is a book based off the Titanic. So it's called Dear America, Voyage on the Great Titanic, The Diary of Margaret Ann Brady, Titanic 1912. So I think this is another children's book, but I've never heard about this, never like ever seen this before. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it, because like I'm really interested in history and like fascinated with history and like Titanic and like other events that happen in history, and like, I'm really interested in these. So I don't know if this is a series. I'm not sure. This is just a, you know, single book. I'm not sure, but I'm like, you know what, let's just buy it. Let's try it. That rhymes, but okay. And yeah, like, why not? So that was all the books that I bought. The only one that I did check out from the library was Zenith. I think that's how you say it, which is a sci-fi book, and I almost never read sci-fi, but I was like, you know what, give it a try. Why not? And I think this also was written by two booktubers, I think. And yeah, I mean, almost never read sci-fi, but I was like, you know what, just try it, give it a try. I don't know if I'll like it, but so far I am liking it. I'm already reading it. I do like it. And yeah, I think it's by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. So it's by them. I think if you go to YouTube and search them out, I think you'll find them. But yeah, that's all the books that I got. And I think I'm not gonna buy any more books until like next year probably, because there's just a lot of books. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because it was a big haul. I'm not gonna lie, it was a big haul. And actually, all these books, not gonna lie, all these books, and just to put it in perspective how many books these are, because there's a lot of books. They are this many books. Hold on. This many books. That is a lot, including the Goodwill books. That is a lot of books. That is a lot of books. Okay, so okay. These are, I can't carry it because there's a lot of them fall. So it's this many books. There's so many, but I'm like, you know what? They're all, it seem interesting, fascinating. I'm gonna read them. It's just different genres, different books. But that is all the books that I got. Hope you guys enjoyed the haul. It was a lot of books. I'm not gonna buy any more books until possibly next year. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe if you guys are new. And I hopefully will try to upload more frequently, more often, and possibly do another one next week. I almost said next week. And I'll see you guys next one. Bye.